Hello everyone and welcome to the Cone Racing League. We're here today for Tier 2 Round 4 at Mexico, and I'm joined today by Arnie.
Hi guys, how you doing? All good? All good. Looking forward to it tonight. Usually here with Rob, but we've got a great stand-in for Rob tonight. So yeah, looking forward to it, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a good race.
Yeah, first time commentating together, so should be good fun.
Looking forward to it, mate.
First time commentating together. Oh, hello. Can hear myself. But yeah, on to a short quali. I'm used to the one-shot qualies from Realistic League at the moment, so I'm going to have to readjust myself to the whole quali format. Getting used to all that going on. No one seems to be moving out the pit box just yet. Okay, Free4 has confirmed with me it is going to be a dry start to the race. 68% chance of rain 45 minutes in, so likely dry inters. Okay. That is going to spice up the latter half of the race. A lovely weather report from Mr. Freefall himself. Oh, hello. Right, Legend soon to go out on track. Alfa Romeo. Can't see any other movement just yet. Perhaps one in the Williams garage, a bit of activity. But, he will be the first man to lead us out onto the track. How's he doing? About middle of the field in terms of stand-ins. Last week, coming off a P6 at France, so a driver I remember doing pretty decently in Season 9. We'll see how he kept that up so far. But, he'll lead us around Mexico for the first time of asking. Which, yeah, Arnie, you said that Tier 4 completely filled with incidents.
Yes, it was a dramatic race. I think there was penalties all across the board, and obviously the stewards had their work cut out. So hopefully they managed to get everything sorted, which I believe they have, and yeah, points were given out today. So yeah, it was a chaotic race. Like, there were several safety cars, several incidents. But that's just the joy of Tier 4.
Yeah, as there we go, Rob giving us a watch. Thanks for filling in tonight. Been a while since, what was it? I think Season 8 was when I last commentated with Rob. I can't remember. Always a fun man to have in the commentary box. Shame he's not here today, so you've got me instead. As here we go, Legend leading us on to the first lap of qualifying. Mexico, you've got to watch the track limits in those middle S's, but apart from that, it's just keep it on the tarmac and take fast racing lines. So coming through these first three corners, very, very good overtaking opportunity. Because you always see that 3 wide down to turn 1 on the first lap. And we'll see how that all goes down. So, of course, purple sectors for our first man going around the track. Perhaps a little bit deep there. I don't think he's taking the optimal lines. A little bit off where he wants to be. Tango saying, hopefully I can get some points today. Terrible start to the season. Tango, one of 3 drivers yet to get points after 3 rounds. Down in P19. Which, significant down from where he was last season. Here we go now into the last sector. Managed to get through without an invalidation. Here. Into this wonderful stadium section. Might see a few cheeky overtakes going into this slow bit of the track as it rounds the final. Ben, keep it out the wall, past the pit entry towards the line, and he is going to set the time of a 1:16.6 as our first one.
Yeah, so good benchmark.
So yeah, as Harry Palmer's decided to shove on a pair of inters, an interesting choice. Cole Paradox, next man to the line. It's a second back, surprising there as Ids puts himself up to the front. And is that a pit lane retirement? I think it is a pit lane retirement. So I'm guessing Carl with a quali ban to serve. As Cool putting himself up into P3. Top 3 drivers separated by just a couple of tenths for the moment. Although always in Tier 2 so close together. Yeah, so Rob saying it was season 8 the last time we commentated together. As here we go, free fall. 17.1 for him, a little way off where he wants to be as Hobbsy sticks it up to the front. Hobbsy gonna be fairly happy with that time for now, 16.4 from him. Right, where is DeRoy? There's DeWill putting it up into P3. Meanwhile, DeRoy here, the man with the 36.4, specifically messaged me before the race saying he was the driver to keep an eye on today. And as I say that, he does set a purple middle sector. Of course, a slow lap last time around, must have been a mistake somewhere that we missed. But let's see, is he the driver to watch today? How high up the order is he going to be? There was a lot of confidence going into this race to message the commentators to keep an eye on you. Let's see where he puts himself. P2, you know what? That's not bad. 800ths exactly off of the provisional pole time.
He's definitely backed himself. With that.
So then on to Farrell. We say 7 drivers with decently competitive times thus far. Farrell 17.3 again, a little bit off the pace, not where you want to be for the moment. Trying to see if any drivers is currently on a timed lap. I think most of them on in or out laps. I suspect Tango, the next one to start his lap, will hop on board with him, see how he can do. As he mentioned in the chat, a bad start to the season, so we'll be looking to change that one. I can't remember where he finished last season, standings wise. Let's have a little look. So he finished, yeah, P3. He was P3 in the standings last time, tier 2, and that was with 5 tiers as well. So even higher skill level compared to this. Not by a significant amount, but nonetheless, it is. He'll be wanting to do better. We'll be expecting more of himself, essentially. Especially 3 rounds in, no points, not ideal. Although a purple first sector is a good way to start it off. So here we go towards the sweeping S's. Yeah, Arnie, did you know Mexico is one of the shortest tracks on the calendar, despite its massive straight?
Is it?
I can't remember.
What is the actual shortest track on the calendar?
I think that falls to Monaco.
Yeah,
but like,
right.
You've got Interlagos, Monaco, Mexico, and there's one other track. Oh, there's an invalidation there from Tango. That was not what he wanted, bringing it into the pits. I can't remember what the other one is. It might be something like Red Bull Ring. But they are amongst the shortest tracks.
Yeah, it could be Red Bull Ring. An average of like a 62, 63 second lap from Austria.
Yeah, actually is Curly there saying Austria, so yeah, I think we got the short for. So who have we got on flies at the moment? The 2 Mercedes and Jet are going around, a few other drivers as well.
Yeah.
Having the second attempt.
Purple in sector 1.
Oh, there we go. McConey in amongst the mixed. 16.8, somehow set on 0 lap odd tyres, which is impressive. His teammate next to the line. 16.8, again 4,000ths faster than his teammate. So yeah, here we go. Jet, the next man, purple middle sector. Where is he going to be? It looks fast. It is oh so fast. Yeah. 16 flat.
That was a good lap from him. Was on board for most of that.
Well, that encourages that we might see a time in the 15s.
Yeah. Obviously, track evolution. Never know.
Oh, free fall having a little moment there. Now moving out the way of Red Bull.
Got Hobbsy now, starting a lap.
Yeah. So who have we got to the line? And that is Ids up to P2. 16.3 from the Williams man. And I think false start to P11 with his 16.9. We'll stay watching Hobbsy for the moment. Keep an eye on the timing boards. T-Griff up into P5. So the two Mercedes pull into the pit lane. And then I think next man to the line will be Knowlesy. So one of the few yet to set a lap time. Knowlesy up to P11, another 16.8. Perhaps a bit slower than he might have wanted. Not too bad, as that is a name I don't recognise. How do you pronounce the one in P14?
P14, or just call him Roju.
Roju? Yeah, Roju works. So what we are, Hobbsy, half a tenth of improvement. That's enough to get him back provisionally onto the front row. He wants more than that though to catch Jet, and Jet is so far ahead. I mean, when you look at the gap between first to second, and then the gap's further down, it is massive in comparison. So yeah, it is P2, reclaims P2 for Hobbsy, exactly half a tenth of improvement. As here we go, Dragon with the information. Monaco is the shortest, Mexico's second shortest track, 2.6 miles long, according to someone on Reddit 5 years ago. And Interlagos and Rebel Ring were both on the calendar at that point, so I think perfectly believable. I've just seen your message. I've been getting your name wrong. Sorry. Oh, Manny. Okay.
It's all good. Yeah.
You're not a bodybuilder then. So here we go. Farrell up into P13 then.
Just call me AFL.
I don't know why. I had it before we had a chat. I had it in my head that you were called Alfie, and I have no idea why. I don't know if there is an Alfie in CRL or if I'm completely making that up, but right.
There used to be back in the day. I'm sure there was. Yeah, Rob just calls me AFL because that's my PSN, AFL _ 1994. So we just go by my PSN name.
AFL might be a bit easier then.
Yeah.
Certainly a lot better than my PSN. Right, so Cool is up to P6. Who else have we got? No one really on a lap at the moment. I think mostly cool down laps or a few out laps going on around.
The Wheel is on a lap.
Ooh, always a man to watch.
Yeah. About to finish sector 2 now.
So yeah, DeWill.
10th up. Well,
100th.
Well, that was 100th, yeah. 100th up.
Yeah, DeWill, one of our two double CRL champions. Both championships won in Tier 1. And recently... Oh, hello, into the pits.
Wow,
never mind.
He's coming in.
Recently he's bought himself a new wheel
set.
and has been getting absolutely rapid since.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't seen him in the usual tiers. I've seen what he's been doing in realistic, and he has been struggling a bit with consistency in terms of kind of finishing the races. I mean, 100%. It is an effort just to get to the end of the race without a DNF in amongst. But it'd be nice to see him in the quality of the 50% races. P8 at the moment, so looking fairly strong as the Frenchman.
Yeah, it's a bit quiet now. They're all getting ready for their last runs, I'd say. Got Strauss on a lap, just coming through now into the stadium section.
Ooh, 3.5 cents.
Yeah.
So looking good for him. Where's that put him? About P4, I'd say. Is Vapor, Shadow? I'll say Shadow because Vapor might be an esport team. Strauss up to P2 with 16.3. How about that?
Yeah. Very good lap there from Strauss, putting him in contention. Or front row start.
Right, here we go. Free fall. Is he going to take his lap around? He is. Not leaving himself much time for a final lap, and a 17.0 still down in P16.
Still got enough time to take his ERS and then go again, as long as he's got a bit of life in those tyres and a lot and fuel. He should be okay to go again. But he'll be out of sync with the rest of the guys that are coming out now out of the pits.
Yes, I think DeRoy the first of the ones on the last flying lap.
Yeah.
Deroy Deroux? I remember I used to say it wrong, but I can't remember if it was Deroy or Deroux that was wrong. And it's been too long. So yeah, look at that, a load of drivers going down towards turn 1 on their outlap. We had that last group before. Well, I shouldn't be pulling into the pit, snapping on a fresh set of softs and going round again, especially in the case of freefall. So far down the order at the moment. But no, it's...
What he does here is he's going to pit. He's got 30, 40, nearly 40% of the RS.
It's not really enough though around Mexico, is it? With the,
no, he's coming in. Has he got enough time to get in and out?
Yeah, he can't. There we go, 2 minute 15. Yeah, you can manage that. Yeah, Tango's saying I'll take that on the second lap of the tyre. I don't know, some of the graphics are definitely wrong, because there's no way drivers are setting laps with tyres that are 0 laps old. So I'm not going to trust the graphics entirely, but I'll trust Tango's word as Deroy hit first the drivers to start the last flying lap. He does have time for 2, he went with the ERS for 2, but an earlier abort will give him room to go round yet again. So currently P5, a driver with a lot of confidence, to the point where he messaged me, the commentator, to say, watch me this race, I'm one of the drivers to keep an eye on. Let's see if he can hold himself to that. 4.5 tenths off the provisional pole at the moment, but less than 1.5 off the front row. So close is it from what, second all the way down to P16. I mean, it's crazy, 7 tenths between those 15 drivers.
Yeah, this tier is really good for the closeness and how everybody gets around.
Yeah, so here we go, 10.5 up is he so far. Well, that's the amount we said he needed to get himself up to P2 as he runs a bit deep there, and that's going to cost him.
Yeah, on the curb.
That might be enough to make him not even improve this lap. We'll see how he manages. He does improve. It is the P2 we were hoping for, but perhaps not as much as he may have wanted. Right, who is our next drivers coming round to the line? We've got, is that an Alpine of Tigriff? It is Tigriff. He's 1,000th up after the first 2 sectors. He'll want a bit more than that, and he's probably got a bit more than that in the tank. There we go, P6 for the Alpine, and that will likely be his last attempts. Next man, Cole Paradox, only enough for P17 Marconi then. Nope, never mind, not Marconi, different car. Didn't see which it was. The 2 Alfa Romeos, I can't jump to them in time. Oh no, they're both just starting their laps. And Jet, my goodness. What a lap. He himself finds 3.5, 4 tenths. Is seemingly untouchable today. Farrell's to P10. Pretty happy with that one. Id's up into P4. Right, De Will, what can the Frenchman do? He's up to P6. 16.3 next. Cool kicker. His free fall remains down near the bottom. P16 for the Scotsman. Up into P6 though for his teammate, the other Ferrari. 3,000ths ahead of De Will. So, not Tango, it's going to be 4-star is the next man. No, an invalidation from 4-star. As I completely missed who just crossed the line, but I think it was Ruju. So Coney, another driver, invalidating and retiring into the pits. Deroy then, of course, yeah, we saw him have his attempt last time around. Strauss, also another into the pit lane, not happy. Tango, P10. Improvement, perhaps not as much as wanted. Legend remaining P11. Who have we got left? We've got Tigriff, who is on a cooldown lap, and sorry, excuse me, and Cole Paradox, who's on a slow one. Is Hobbsy going round again? No, he's done. I think that is qualifying over.
I think that's it, yeah.
That is a complete display of dominance by Jet. I mean, look at the gap. The gap between first and second is larger than the gap between second and 13th. That is Max Verstappen levels of dominance at this point, and this is in equal cars.
And he's in the Red Bull as well.
He is. Well, he's P5 in the championship. one win would equal what he's got from the first 3 rounds. So perhaps not the start to the season he wanted, but he's certainly going in the right direction this time around. A very nicely deserved pole from him with that kind of gap to the rest of the field. Because yeah, there was a driver on a .393, a .394, and then a .397. 3 drivers separated by 4 thousandths down in, where was that? P6, 7 and 8. But here we go, it is Jet on pole, Hobbsy alongside him for the front row. They'll be the 2 going side by side down to T1. Then DeRoy, Ids, Strauss, Ruju and Coolkiller touched him pretty well in this race. 4 of them in the top 7. DeWill, Tigriff, Tango to round out the top 10. Then Legend, McConey, Farrell, Shadow, Nolsey, 4-star, Freefall and Cole Paradox last of the qualifiers. And then Harry and Carl, presumably surfing quali vans. I didn't actually think to check up beforehand. But yeah, it is looking to be a very good and very close race if you close your eyes and put your finger over Jet's name, who looks like he'll just fly off into the distance.
Not necessarily, because if the guys on the second row get a good start, they could possibly leapfrog those guys on the front row with the toe down to turn 1. Just never know. Right, they've got to get a good start, the guys on the front row. Otherwise, they could lose a couple of positions.
Right, so Jet has said he's using 44-33 wings. So he's going to struggle on the straight. It's not quite his wording, but we'll PGify it for the stream. So, yeah, run down to turn 1. He probably will not be in the lead if he is running quite high wings. But, I mean, he seems happy but surprised. He said this is the first track he's had a semi-decent quali at. Doesn't want to hear any complaints about being moved up to Tier 1. Rain at the end. Yeah, thanks, Tango. Weatherman Freefall has already confirmed 68% chance. How many minutes was it in? 45 minutes in. So yeah, towards the latter half, but should be a good race with a nice twist at the end, which is always what you want. Action at the start, time for the drivers to settle down, and then chaos thrown in at the end just to keep the excitement and everyone on their toes. No easy wins. You got to work for everything you've got. Curly's saying you don't really want to be pole here. Yeah, well, especially given what Jet said his wings are at. I assume formation lap's a thing. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, there we go. Full 3 tyres on the show. Shadow, the one man, opting for the softs. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on hards, if I can count. Yeah, I can count. And then that'll be the other 11 on mediums.
And Vapor on softs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The pole man is on the hard tyre, and given that he would be off the racing line on the dirty side, it's probably going to be Hobbsy down to turn 1, who I'd say for the lead. I mean, I trust Hobbsy's got a smart head on him, so he'll be... Although, to be fair, Hobbsy's luck isn't exactly the best in the world. So I would not be surprised if Hobbsy led out of turn 1. I would also not be surprised if he was backwards and last out of turn 1. That remains to be seen. But actually, I'll mention now quickly while on the formation lap. Championship standings. I haven't had a look at them before now. Our championship leader, Ennis, is not racing today. Which means DeWill, Carl both have a chance to take the championship lead. Although Carl is down in P20, so maybe less of a chance. But what is he? 25 points off the lead, so he would need the win or second and fastest lap to take the championship lead off of Ennis, who's had a very good season so far. DeWill, P1 or a P2 would take him through to the championship lead, and it's always nice to see the Frenchman doing well. A veteran of CRL, been here for years and years and years, and yeah, he's always a joy to watch on track and to race against. Can't claim to be as fast as him in F1, but I've raced him in other games, and even beaten him once or twice in other games. Here's the drivers. Oh, never mind. Hobbsy has missed his grid box. There goes that Hobbsy for turn 1. The bad luck already starting now. Forza Ferrari, boys, and De Will. I got to agree with you there. I'm always a Ferrari supporter, and I'm always a De Will supporter. As the lights are up. Oh no, that's not up. There you go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are up, and they're still up. But away they go. So Hobbsy going to have his cold tyres to contend with. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Jet for the moment defending. My money is on DeRoy here. He's on the outside. Hobbsy has got himself up the inside, but DeRoy on the outside, the Dutchman, doing very well. He said he was the one to watch. Can he outbrake the pole man? No, he can't. It is still Jet that holds on. It's DeRoy and Hobbsy side by side for P2 coming through here, and Hobbs in the end does successfully manage to fend off. We've got a Williams there, we've got a Ferrari backwards. That's free fall. Backwards. No, it was now for Romeo. Sorry.
Romeo, Nolsey.
Nolsey is back and around. And DeRoy.
Looks like he has no damage though, which is good.
Ooh, and you got a Red Bull as well. Farrell struggling further down the order, very, very close in that middle pack there. But, yeah, a few moving up and down the order. Vapor, I'm surprised he is not making more moves on these soft tyres. We wanted to make the most of them while they're still fresh.
Yeah.
And yeah, look at that, just caught behind the back of Cole Paradox. Nothing he can do because, I mean, he's on hard tyres. There's only so fast he can go through that section. Going to send it up the inside into the stadium section, and a nicely done move by the Alpine. Looking further up the order. My intervals are not at all updating, so hard to tell what's going on, but it is still Jet leading us round. DRS yet to kick in, and my goodness, the intervals are very messed up. Codemasters, what are you doing?
Obviously looking very racy there in P2 behind Jet. Probably running much lower downforce than Jet, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
hang on, what's that? That was it.
Yeah.
An amazing catch there. Almost reminded me of the drift that Perez did at Spa a few years back. In that pink Mercedes racing point. No,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way he caught it. The car control was mad. Obviously, a mistake in the first place did drop him back a few positions, but nicely caught by the driver.
Gets out of the wall. Obviously,
yeah, main thing, isn't it?
Rooting for the Williams guys, as that's my team this year in Cone. So hopefully,
hey, dude,
good result. We're not doing too bad in the constructors, to be fair.
Not doing too bad this race either. P5, 6. So looking good. Right, so here we go. Lap 3. It's going to be that end of sector 2, start sector 3 DRS zone. Will be the first time of DRS opening. Its fastest lap goes to the P3 man of DeRoy, as T-Griff immediately takes it off him. So I'm corrected. But not going to be too many overtakes going on just yet. Hard without the DRS hit. You're almost better following, saving your DRS, and then committing to the move when it is going to be easier to do. Glow stick support for Merck and Roju. Here we go, lining up behind the medium tyres. Hobbsy, he wants this, he's going to go for everything he can, but Jet set the 2 fastest times in qualifying, and his fastest lap was just so far ahead of everyone else. Hobbsy, a little wobble there perhaps, not the optimal lines. Dirty air going to be affecting him, but what's the exit he gets here onto the DRS straight? It's not going to be enough to go for the move, but enough to close that gap down by a 10th. Manages to avoid going too deep. Had an overtake further down, and all cool, he's losing a couple of positions here. I think he may have had a wobble out the end of sector 2, but here we go. The main straight DRS is now going to be available for the first and second straights, and is half a second too much for Hobbsy to close down, or could this be first proper lead change since the run down to turn 1. It's 3/10, it's 2/10. Is he going to go for a move? Sends it up the inside. And there we go, the medium tyre. He's not giving up though, is Jet. He's holding on. But he won't do the DRS in the second part of the straight. And now DeRoy's going to be having another look, and he'll DRS. He might have just lost himself a move, sorry, an extra position by fighting too hard. And hang on, DeRoy, he wants himself straight to the front. And he might have it here. No, not quite, because Jet's back in the picture now. Jet up the inside. Yeah, he does. He kept himself back into P2 as DeRoy was busy trying to challenge Hobbsy, and in the end himself got re-overtaken. This front group very close together, and of course whenever you challenge someone in the front and it doesn't work, you leave yourself vulnerable to the man behind.
Yeah, and let's not discount Strauss as well behind. He's very close, and Roju, we're gonna call him
Roju is what I've been going with. I don't know if it's correct.
Yeah, we'll go with Roju. Yeah, this front pack really looking close together, and they're all looking to capitalise on any mistakes that will be made by the guys in front. So here we go, part 2.
Yeah, I've now seen there's been a couple of mistakes from Ids, who just seems to be very much struggling. Like there was end of sector 2 this time around, and then we saw earlier on he had his wobble at turn 3 before, as Hobbsy does hold on, of course, running less wings than Jet. Jet claimed to be running very high wings. Good for his tyres, good for the long term, but perhaps is going to suffer in terms of racecraft and overtaking. Roju getting past Strauss and behind. We've got De Wil giving a little challenge to Ids here. French versus the Dutch. Similar flags. But different people. And actually that battle has opened up the gap between P5 and P6. The top 5 might be pulling away a little bit here if these two keep fighting on.
Obviously doing a good job keeping Jet behind them.
There we go. Glowstick confirming that he's called Roju. It's a little deep there by Legend, nearly into the back of Tango. Costing him a bit of time taking a void in action as the gap between 5-6 has reclosed up to within that 1 second. But I don't think we're going to see much moves going on from the lead group, given that they're all in the DRS train and the front man is running less wings than the man in P2.
Jet does go wide though.
Oh yeah, Jet has gone wide.
I'll
jump on board. DeRoy's around. Is he lost?
Roju, it looks like Roju went into him ever so slightly. Turn 2, turn 3.
Yeah, all the way down to P2. 1 point contender for the lead at this stage of the race.
Yeah, down to P12 now.
Yeah, the gaps up front starting to open a lot more as well. Look, more than a second between Hobbsy, Jet, and then Jet and Roju. So I would expect Hobbsy to be able to pull away from Jet due to tyres, and Jet to be able to keep away from Roju because Roju's defending, and Jet has proved to be an absolute rocket ship in qualifying. So let's see, will Jet pick up the DRS? That's the all-important question. Did he get to the DRS detection zone in time or not? It remains to be seen. No, he did not.
I don't think so. No, he didn't.
So it's the first man with DRS this time around. Jet is within that 1 second time. And actually, I reckon he'll get himself back within it closer. So the top 2, a little bit of breathing room from the rest. There's Harry going wheel to wheel with Shadow further down, and that's contact. That is Harry into the rear tyre of Shadow. That is Shadow around at turn 3. Having to wait for the other cars to come through. That is him right the way down to the back of the order, sticking it into reverse. Flicking it back around. There we go. Yeah, huge loss of time there from him. That is a shame. We'll hop on board though with the battle for P11. Carl and DeRoy. In fact, Carl versus both McLarens, it seems. So wobble there from one of them. Look at how close this group is.
Yeah, those two McLarens have been getting a little bit close. since obviously the Rouge dropped down from P2.
Shadow.
Hopefully they can keep it clean.
Yeah, what are we? Nearly 20% of the race gone so far. Still no pit stops just yet. Potentially going to move on from Shadow. I don't know if he got a any wing damages. I'm about to miss a lead change. Let's hop on board with Jet as he sends it up the inside of Hobbsy, nice and cleanly through. Not much Hobbsy can do now. And of course,
you would think Hobbsy would have pulled away, but Jet showing that pace in qualifying. He's got it in race trim as well.
Yeah, it's all. Both Williams making a mistake. Roju has a wobble. It's an even bigger one and goes round, and that is mistake number 3 from this man. The Shadow, somewhat unsurprisingly, a retirement in the pit lane after. Yeah, I mean, unlucky from him. We saw the incident. It clearly wasn't his fault. Essentially, yeah, a driver not backing out when they possibly should have. But we're still green flag because there's a very wide Alpine there. In fact, there's a... Look at how close these 4 cars are. Practically nose to tail. I'm surprised they've all got front wings still intact. They're spreading out a little bit through this snake in S's. The freefall's going to be having a little look. Around the outside of Tigriff. Is he brave enough to try and stick it? Has to back out in the end, possibly picking up a warning for that one. And now under threat from Nolsey. Nolsey trying to send it the long way around into the stadium section. But he is he cut off? He is cut off in the end. Himself is in a Ferrari sandwich. And as tasty as that sounds, that is perhaps a recipe for disaster when you got 2 teammates working against you. De Will up into P3. A good day for Haas. Well, good day for Haas so far.
P2 and P3 for them so far, which is good.
That's cool. And Nolsey again side by side, running a little wide there. Oh, and Cold Paradox wants to go. He's got himself past Nolsey, not past Cool though. Remaining in P17. Still plenty of action all the way up and down the field. It's hard to keep on track of it all.
Yeah, it's sort of settled down at the front a little bit. Hobbsy, 6/10, half a second coming up possibly with Jet, so Jet's not leaving him. I think we could see maybe a few changes as he goes a little bit deep into the stadium section there, Hobbsy. So that will affect his exit going down into turn 1. Yeah, he's now probably going to drop out at the DRS now. I know he's got it.
Well, he'll have it for the next 2 straights. He'll be able to close that gap down probably to 4/10 by the end of the 2nd straight. But Legend, though, having a little look at the back of Tango's car. Is he going to go for the move? Choosing not to do so. Tango, nice braking point, keeps himself in that P5 on the hard tyres, bear in mind. So second hard runner, bar Jet, who at the moment has shown himself to be a complete alien. But of course, there is rain yet to come. But with the high wings that Jet has, that might play to his advantage anyway.
Yeah. Once that rain comes, you need that extra downforce.
So yeah, 4-star overtaken by Carl. Considered the cutback, but it just wasn't there. Didn't have the grip. Very nice overtake and then defence after by Carl. 4-star down to P10. Yeah, Hobbsy is now got himself back onto the back of Jet. Don't know if there's a slight mistake, but this may be a lead change with a good exit here. And a burn-in of ERS. Over 30% more ERS for Hobbsy.
Yeah, Hobbsy's done a lot of saving. And as you look at the sky, it's getting a bit overcast as well. So rain is definitely in the air.
That is a yellow. That is Cold Paradox.
Cold Paradox, yeah.
No lead change just yet, but of course there is the second DRS zone. Let's see, Tango passed Roju for P4, but that's not what we're watching. We are watching the lead battle. Hobbsy, he's got himself up the inside. Can he keep himself up the inside? Ooh, a little bit of a loose moment on the brakes. He does not get the move complete. Certainly gives it a good go behind battling going on though, Roju and Legend. Legend squeezed a little bit wide and Roju keeps himself in that P5. Staying right on the tail though is the Alfa Romeo. He wants to get by. Feels he's the faster driver. And both the Williams do seem to be struggling with keeping the car pinned. Like, they look very unstable cars, and the fact is both Williams is strange because it's, unless they're sharing setups, it is all the same cars. They're all on equal performance.
Yeah. Hobbs are in half a second now.
Yeah, oh wow, he's burning some ERS this time. Yeah. He wants himself back through and he's done it. And he'll keep it.
He'll get the DRS, yeah, he'll keep the DRS. Next section.
Yeah, action going on further down. Legend, Roju, Strauss for P5. And it will be Roju, the one without DRS on this second part. Legend can pull away. Can Strauss get near enough? He's 4/10ths back, I think too far back to go for anything much. But DeRoy, different can be said as he's on the back of Forster. Looking to the outside, looking to the inside. But in the end, is it enough? Forster running deep, looking for the cutback. Do you know what? I think he might have it here. He's got him on the inside now. Who's going to back out? One of them has surely got to. You cannot go side by side through these next S's, but neither driver wanting to be the one who backs out. It is DeRoy who holds it round the outside. Forster down to P11, DeRoy up into P10. Very nice battling, very nicely done by both drivers there. And I'm waiting till I see the first drops of rain because that sky is getting darker and darker. So here we go, actually. Are we in? Jet settling in behind. I don't know if he's saving ERS or doesn't want to go for the move or what, but Jet not going for the move there, and perhaps he could have a slow exit out of that second corner, so not going to get the move done there. Legend, though, Legend on Tango. 3/10, 2.5 tenths. Perhaps near enough. But again, actually, Legend, very little ERS there. He's burned through it mighty fast. Tango being on the hard tyres, they are going to start to come into play a little bit more. Rob giving some support from Jet. The commentator's not meant to be biased, we always are. We've all got our favourites. And it is Rob's picked a good favourite if he wants to see a winner on his corner. This Legend slightly deep into that one, I think. Can't claim to know the racing lines, I'll be honest here. Carl picking up 3 seconds of time penalty. But this might be the time around for a lead change. So Jet on the back, he is closing. He's not even burning ERS, such is the confidence with his exit from the previous one. Cool Killer. Is he just going to sit behind? He is. Interesting. That was a very deliberate, conscious choice there, because if he stuck on a little bit of ERS, he would have flown past. I do wonder if he's content to sit behind or if he wants to build ERS before going for the move there. But we're missing the action further on back in the field because this P4 fight is kicking off side by side, and oh my goodness. Roju with a wonderful bit of moving under braking, keeping that battle going on. Roju, Legend side by side. Now Legend to the outside, can he hold it the long way around? I can't tell which driver's ahead there. I think it is Roju staying ahead, but hard to slot in with Strauss just behind. They do all make it in orderly fashion come the end, but certainly keeping each other on the toes.
It's been an action-packed race so far, up and down the grid, and that's just testament to Tier 2.
Oh yeah. Tier 2 is best to come at me Tier 1. Right, so let's see. Overtake wise, pretty similar between front to 10% advantage to Jet, who again does not seem to want to go for the overtake. He's choosing to stay behind. A strategic decision. I mean, you can see he's not braking full there, because he knows he's braking earlier to play it safe. So I'm not expecting a change for the lead. Still plenty of action going on with this group though, as Strauss and Legend. Strauss getting past Legend in the hard tyres, going to start to become better as the more wear comes onto these compounds. Roju then onto the back of Tango. In fact, onto the back, he's got him up the inside nice and clean before he even got to the corner. And there we go, going to be happy with that one. It's in 4-star then, they're side by side further down. Nearly some contact there, and Harry Palmer having a little look around the outside. 4-star from battling 1 to battling 2, and I think he might have lost in both cases. No, he does fend off Harry Palmer, but in the end he's no longer P11, it's up to P11. The Williams driver trying to have a recovery drive after his earlier mistake. And here we go. That is a brave place to consider a move there from the McLaren. You're better sticking it in behind and just waiting for the straight, because when you are not alongside, that is a dive bomb you perhaps do not want to make, and that is a lead change. That is Jet getting past of Hobbsy well before the corner. Those two will actually haven't seen, gradually been getting closer to the two of them. And Jet very, very deep, compromised this line massively. It's not going to be enough for Hobbsy to get back through, because Jet will have the DRS. He shouldn't be wasting his overtake here, and that is a yellow flag for Cold Paradox down in Sector 3. And that is rain I just saw. Not a huge amount, but I definitely saw a drop of rain appear on my screen. It's Cold Paradox coming in now. It'd be silly to retire as rain kicks in, because everything's going to go up. Does he need a new front wing? He's going on to Inters. What tyres is in stock for him? It is Inters. It's a very early change on Inters, but it is straight to the Inters.
He needs it to pour down.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, the rain is picking up fast.
Not at that crossover period yet, though, is it?
No, it does still too early, I think, for the moment. But it does mean if there's a safety car caused by drivers not adapting well, he might be in good stead, but even then, yeah, I think he has done it a smidge earlier than he should have. It's Dragon giving Cold Paradox a lovely bit of support, and that is DeRoy into the pit lane there. Already choosing to pit, presumably for the Inters as well.
We may start seeing changes now. Yeah, fresh set of Inters.
Yeah, I mean, anyone pitting now, they're sticking on Inters. I think perhaps a little bit early. But there's 3 wide there between 3-4 Harry and 4-star. Yet to see.
Yeah.
One of them hasn't got DRS. It's not Freefall. He's got DRS working for him. It's the McLaren. So Harry would have lost 2 positions there to both 4-star and Freefall. Who is going to struggle to get the move done. And of course, the grip coming down. Tyres will be cooling down under these rainy conditions.
Track is very greasy. As Harry, he's down the inside of Freefall.
Yeah, he's having a little sniff. And oh, he's having a moment there. Good catch by him. That does allow the Ferrari to stay ahead for the moment, and I think we're more likely to see more drivers come into the pits. Once the DRS gets disabled, that's really the sign for drivers that you perhaps left it.
Strauss goes very wide there. Back of grip coming into it now. I think we're going to see some stops imminently.
Yeah, well, if you make a big mistake, often you're like, okay, confidence has been shook. Let's get into the pits, and that is an illegal pit entry by Kyle and McConey. It's his behaving. Go on, how many others can catch out with illegal pit entry? 4-star, so little control of the car there. Wrestling that thing like nothing. Knowlesy choosing to stay out as a load of the drivers come into the pit lane.
And McLaren.
Of course, some are going to be double stacking.
Knowlesy staying out. Going to be interesting to see how much time these guys lose on the dry tyre compared to the guys that are in the Inters now.
They're definitely losing time up front, but it's how much compared to the Inter.
Yeah.
Like, you can see them just skating around Last lap was definitely the right lap to pit for the Inters. These top 7 guys are going to struggle. Watch that gap now between Nolsey and Carl. That P7, P8 gap, 10.1 for the moment, 10.0 now. And that is going to gradually come down throughout the lap. The wet conditions, not too critical just yet, but enough that the Inter is the right tyre to be on. Last lap was the lap to pit. There's Jet himself running deep in. There's that DRS disabled.
There you go.
So we're going to see all of these boys come in. Haas are going to have to do a double stack. If one of them had pit last lap, they would have been in better stead. But unfortunate news for De Wil, as here we go. Jet into the pit box, as is both Haas drivers. Tango will be following them both right into the pits here. As is Roju. Yeah, just fighting the car so much, these guys. That gap, he's lost, I think, 3 seconds. Knowles, in fact, no, 4 seconds Knowles is lost to the car behind. Carl might very well inherit the lead here. Don't know how far behind he was. Knowlesy with a lovely illegal pit entry. Right, let's see. Where does Carl come out
Carl's
compared to Jet?
Now, coming down the straight now.
He's burning his DRS. He knows this is good opportunity. He's not going to catch the front two. De Wil losing out due to the double stack. And he's all the way up.
And obviously he's had a lap or two more experience on these tyres in this condition, so these guys are going to be going around getting used to the conditions.
Yeah, do you know what? DeRoy's done pretty well for himself. He pit nice and early on the Inters, and actually he's already up to P8. So perhaps he was the one in the right there. I mean, definitely the guys who pit last lap, they were the ones towards the front, so the track was clear of them because the rain hadn't yet come. But they are, in general, the ones towards the front. There's this battle going on here between Rojo and De Wil. Is he backing out? He does in the end. Certainly keeping the other driver on his toes. So, but I think Hobbsy is going to struggle to keep up with Jet. With them both being on the same compound, DRS disabled, I think this is Jet's time to go off into the distance, give himself room to not have to push, to not have to risk making any mistakes, and just to basically lead commanding from here. I don't know if it's going to be rain all the way to the end. If it is, that's very much in Jet's favour. So, alright, in fact, I've just heard Jet would have been P6 for his qualifying if he was in Tier 1 today. As moves going on further down the order, both Mercedes giving DeRoy a little challenge, and that is McConey through up into P8. Ooh, and DeRoy having a little moment there. Not enough to lose him in position, but enough to take him right off the back of the Mercedes. I tell you what, Hobbsy is holding on to Jet for the moment, more than I was expecting him to be.
I wonder if any of these guys made some front wing adjustments as well in the pit lane as the rains come down.
Yeah. I don't know, it's so hard to tell what's going to happen for him. I mean, Jet, my money is still absolutely on him for the win. He's doing well. I don't know if he's picked up any warnings. Probably has picked up one or two, just given the track and its tendency. But I'm more interested, how long can Hobbsy hold on, or can Hobbsy even hold on for so long that he can actually come back and challenge in the end? So it's this, again, this middle pack that kind of P6 battle down to, what is it, P10 at the moment. This group of drivers here, they're providing us with plenty of action. And is McConey close enough to go for a send up the inside? The answer is no. Is he going to try anyway? Still no. As these drivers following through the wet conditions. No one being caught out. I'm surprised less drivers... So there aren't more drivers being heavily caught out. There's a few small mistakes here and there, because no one willing to push the bounds too much. The gap, though, between P2 and P3 is increasing. 3.4. That's up from last time I looked at it.
Track track getting wetter as well. But the rain seems to be quite light, which is good. I'm not expecting it to get any heavier. Still quite damp at the moment.
Yeah, no risk of full wets. But I think the interesting thing that happens here, if the rain dies off, it's mostly into the end and we get a last minute safety car. That is about as spicy as the race is going to get. At the moment, a lot of drivers hesitant to go for too much under these wet conditions. You're essentially relying on mistake from your fellow drivers. As I say, that Ids is right on the back and he might be able to go for something here on Deroy. Though a small moment, and that is enough to take away that potential overtaking opportunity. Let's see. 3-4, Harry Palmer, 4-star. These three nice and close, half a second separating the three of them. And are we going to see anything? Harry's going for the move. 3-4 decides not to in the end. And that is a yellow. That is again for Cole Paradox and again in the third sector. Yeah. That section really not working for him here.
Oh, Nosey has a little bit of a snap there. Coming out of turn 4. Kept out of the wall. No damage there.
So 4-star having a little look on the back of Harry, but these wet conditions mean have the drivers been so careful. The gap between the front two staying fairly consistent, perhaps gradually eking open. As all Id's on board with him as he makes a mistake, but Freefall so far behind is not able to do anything with it. So Id's luckily escaping the wall, but yeah, I mean that man he's pushing his car today, he's making mistakes, but he's not. Only one of them really cost him too badly. The side by side, Harry and 4-star. Here we go, the McLaren and the Aston Martin. I think 4-star barging his way through there. Tigriff just behind. There's the Ferrari off Freefall, and here comes these three battling drivers. It is 4-star ahead. It is side by side for Harry and Tigriff. But Harry's got the toe. Tigriff has the room, and Tigriff can just box Harry in. But in the end, the Aston Martin and 4-star falls across, and Harry was going to have a look on the outside now. Are they going to be three wide? Tigriff looking to the inside, 4-star in the middle, Harry on the outside. And is that contact or not? I think it might have been a slight tap.
Well held though by 4-star.
Yeah, good job 4-star. Well done Harry, taking advantage of the opportunity, getting himself up into P12. These three are going to be having a load of fun in this fight. Tigriff having a little look up the inside of that McLaren. Is he going to get anything done? Has a small moment, and now 4-star's got himself up the inside into this double right-hander. Not enough to complete the move. I think struggling for traction on the outside. He got that slightly drier line built in. As all 4-star runs deep, and is that enough for Nolsey? Yeah. That is. Nolsey gets himself up into P14.
Yeah, he just got on the curb at the moment where he wanted to turn in.
Yeah, wonderful battle by those three. So let's see, DeWill hunting down. Ooh, an interesting choice. Ids is into the pits. Okay. Is that for a front wing or a change to the heavy wets? That is heavy wet tyres. No, is it? No, it's it is. He's onto heavy wets. That is an interesting choice by the Williams driver. And is it the same for Cool then, or is he? No, he's onto a fresh set of inters, which is an interesting choice because unless he had front wing damage that I didn't see replaced, that is an odd decision by him. So I'm missing more battling going on here. Freefall on the back of DeRoy. We'll hop on board with that. So I'm interested in that time gap. Can Ids make the most of those wets? If the rain lightens, that's a huge mistake.
Oh, he's gone, he spun. Kept out the wall. Oh, he's not kept out the wall. He has lost his front wing.
VSC, what Ids?
Yeah, Ids. Just losing the back end. Now he's going to have to box again. And he has no front wing.
Yeah, shame for him. But if drivers are thinking, you know what, maybe heavy wets are the way to go, now is the time to pit for them under this VSC. You won't have too long under the VSC. Let's see, anyone thinking of the opportunity or not? I still think Inters are the tyre to be on. But the drivers can feel the track, they know better.
Doesn't look wet enough for full wets. There's no puddles.
But that is a McLaren of DeRoy coming into the pits there. And Harry, he can't make up his mind in the end, not pitting.
Let's see. Obviously he's not going to lose as much time as he would in normal conditions.
Yeah, Knowlesy in as well. We've got a few of them coming in.
For another set of Inters, which is a good call, I'd say. If I was going to pit, I'd go on to another set of Inters just to guarantee me through to the end.
Yeah, you might be right with that one, actually. Ooh, that is a drive-through given to Cool Killer. So here we go, quick look at the penalties here. Mostly 3-second track limits, we've got a couple of 5s. And then that drive-through for not obeying the VSC for the Ferrari down in P18. It's T-Griff right onto the back of Harry, and as Harry immediately goes deep, this is a great opportunity for the Alpine to get an overtake here. McLaren might have more grip on the exit, the curb's always slightly wetter though on the curb, and ooh, what is going on here? The two of them, they're holding the side by side for the moment. The McLaren pulling ahead in the end there. Both drivers surviving. Both the last time to the car ahead, allowing 4 stars closing on the two of them. They do both make it through still happy and breathing, or at least breathing, maybe not happy, as immediately Harry makes a mistake. T-Griff going to try and move around the outside. He's got his car firmly there. Who is this going to go for? Hard to stick around the outside as the camera waits to see what happens there. And Harry is ahead, but interestingly 4 stars alongside T-Griff.
Oh, drag race.
Yeah, and oh, he's onto the grass. I don't know if T-Griff was squeezed or he went for a gap that wasn't really there. But in the end, 4-star gets the both of them as T-Griff is forced off onto the grass and Harry down to P11. Though there's a juicy battle going on further up the order for P3. It's Tango, Carl and Roju. What is going on between these three? Actually, I think these three settling down a little bit.
Of course, T-Griff goes down the inside of Harry and they make contact.
Yeah, ooh, what a catch by T-Griff. I think he's feeling aggressive now after that squeeze. He wants to get past. He's not happy. Let's see. I wasn't really paying enough attention to if that gap was there and then Harry closed it in response to 4-star going up the inside, or why that move was made. I didn't see close enough to call what I think happened in the end there. But either way, Harry goes very deep and T-Griff gets himself through. He'll be happy that that's a clean move done. He'll be smiling that he's got past Harry. As you see that huge Mexican stadium, the wonderful helicopter cams that come in every now and then.
I have to say though, Hobbsy is very close to Jet now.
I'm glad you mentioned, because I hadn't noticed.
They have absolutely... These two are in a league of their own in these conditions because of the gap to Tango behind. It's 8 seconds, 8.3.
There's all lead change.
Oh, Hobbsy goes down the inside now. Is Jet gonna... No, Hobbsy's got that.
Yeah, very nicely done. So, something to note about Hobbs as a driver is he's decently fast. The one thing that he always has, he just seems to have... When he's in clean air, he's fast and consistent. And he just seems to keep doing it. Like, around other drivers, he seems to be a magnet for bad luck. But once you put him on a clean bit of circuit, he's got a sensible head, he's got his, his wheel, he's a fast driver, he will just make it work. And I think he's making far less mistakes than everyone else in these wet conditions, and he's got himself through to the lead. What have we got? 9 laps left after this one finishes up. As Jet makes a small mistake on exit, perhaps taking away the chance to get himself back into the lead here, burn a bit of ERS, but Hobbs has got more ERS. He is actually going to try and get the move back, burning a good 20-30% here. Really wanting the move back. We can see here the difference in the wings. Yeah. As Hobbs actually would just stay ahead despite all that ERS that Jet threw at him. Though Jet does want it bad enough. And Jet is round. Jet is round at exit of turn 3. And I think that's entirely his own fault for getting on the power too soon. Nothing wrong with what Hobbsy did in defence there. Certainly a shame for Jet after the dominance he showed in qualifying. But I think perhaps not a surprise given how each driver has been racing. Hobbsy's just been racing smarter. Even if Jet has that raw pace, he is now down in P7, and under these wet conditions it's so much harder to pass. There's Carl here trying to get past Roju, but I mean the wet, you've got no DRS, and it's that traction trouble to get through. So where is he? He's settled in behind Strauss, and he's going to close in on Strauss in no time at all. We know he's fast, as long as he hasn't had his confidence knocked too badly.
Jet picks up a 3-second time penalty there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Insult to injury for the man who would pole by miles. Is, oh my goodness, they really are racking up penalties there. Who was that? T-Griff and Nolsey and Harry.
And Harry, yeah.
Everyone wants a little bit of penalties added to their race. Great news for the drivers who aren't picking them up. As Jet, unsurprisingly, he's immediately closed onto the back of Strauss, outbreaks him into turn 1, through into P6. He's fast, but now he's got penalties and he's further down the order. That's going to be very hard to work with. A 5-second lead does Hobbsy have over Tango. And if he can make that work for him, keep that there for the remainder of the race, he is in a very strong position. And I am missing out on a great battle here, it seems, further down the order. DeRoy and T-Griff, the two IRC drivers. T-Griff having just picked up a 3-second penalty last lap. It is DeRoy in the end who pulls out ahead, making it McLaren 11-12. It's like the start of the 23 season all over again. They were hoping for the end of the 23 season. Yeah, actually, DeRoy immediately ditching T-Griff as Tango picking up 3 seconds. Yeah, everyone just struggling to keep it on the tarmac, and that is even more good news for Hobbsy. As here we go, and the McLaren's looking to the inside, dodges him back to the outside, and that is DeRoy straight past Harry. I say straight past, he's not past just yet. As look at this battle, great battling between the two teammates, right to the line, using
just
all of the track.
Space.
And yeah, look at that. Beautiful racing between the two McLarens. And here comes the big straight, which means ERS dumps. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah.
Just better traction there.
Better traction, yeah.
But has Harry pulled an absolute smart move here and thought, I'll let you through at the start so I can get you back at the end. Is he pulled a Charles Leclerc at Bahrain? Or is he just going to lose the position? He's trying to hold it around the outside. Being very gentle on the brakes. He's still got his car alongside, and I think he should have backed out of that one. The steward's not going to be too pleased. They say front tyre next to the side pod, and I think Harry lifting to let him back through there. In fact, no, he's burning ERS. Never mind, he's not. Just had a little wobble as he runs deep and almost forces T-Griff ride. And DeRoy picking up a penalty from that, and they're all going crazy. Nolsey now leading the front of this group. What is going on? DeRoy's second in this group. As T-Griff is involved, Legend's involved, and Harry's been shuffled the way down to the back of a lot of them. 5-way fight with 7 or 6.5 laps to go. And I think DeRoy might have a case to get that penalty removed, as long as he doesn't pick up another warning.
That all stemmed from the two McLaren boys just being too aggressive.
Yeah, no, I think Harry not backing out when he should have exited entry of turn 3. And yeah, just spiraled. So what's that? The gap between Hobbsy and Tango has closed by... Oh, hello. What's this? T-Griff. He's in the wall. T-Griff has lost his right end plate. Exit the final corner, got on the power too early, and he's round. Dropping down the order. So hop on board here with Carl and DeWill. Two black and white cars side by side coming through this second sector. And I think it will be DeWill who sweeps around the outside to take that P4. That is yellow, that is Farrell. It's hit. Comes around the corner, car still intact for the most part. Yeah, wow, this group that was all stuck together is immediately split up. Harry and T-Griff dropped off the back massively, and even Legend a fair way off this group now. Where they're really splitting up these packs. But it's looking more and more likely Hobbs is going to get this. So let's try not to commentators curse this. He's had a spin from Cole Paradox, and that is the VSC. Yeah, he's got no front wing. No front wing at all. Been into the wall. The oldest of any into tyres there. We saw him make a mistake earlier and have to pit. He's going to have to come in for a fresh set. He's not quite lapped as speeding on the save through. Cool killer. Isn't that the second one he's got? I might have served the other one. So. He picked one up earlier.
Yeah, he is 1 minute and 16 behind. So
destroy a pit lane retirement from him. Has he just picked up a second one? Like under one VSC.
Oh.
T-Griff has retired. Both IRT drivers retiring in the pit lane. So I'm keeping an eye on this gap between Hobbsy and Tango. How do they do? Because that gap certainly closed down under VSC. Tango managing it well. But what we've got left, we've got this lap plus we've got 4 more laps. Cool Killer pitting to serve one of his drive-throughs. Cole Paradox will pitting to stick on a new front wing. It's Tango drifting the rear of his car around. He wants to build that gap to DeWill to get that 3rd spot on the podium. I don't know if any of his penalties could potentially be removed. As here we go, the leader now about to lap his first, in fact his second car there. That's P16 going past just there as he watches all of these. Cool Killer going very slow, just letting these lead cars through, hopefully not causing any problems. But needs to bear in mind he's got a driver just behind him, will be on his tail soon if he waits up too long.
Obviously just got to bring it home now. Keep it on the track.
3.5 laps and a dream. That's all he's got left as another man goes for a spin. It is... Oh, it's the lapped car of Cool Killer, never mind then. Thought it might have been free fall, but no, it's one of the guys further down the order. Perhaps waiting or just really struggling in these conditions.
Cool Killer.
Yeah, even Cole Paradox, after all the misfortune he's had getting through on that Ferrari. Bad day to be a Ferrari fan, but let's be honest, when is it a good day? And I say that as a man with 3 Ferrari hats right behind me. So, current podium is looking to be Hobbsy, Roju. Will it be DeWill or Tango? Haas would like a double podium. A lot of CRL is huge DeWill fans, let's be honest, me included. Is oh my goodness, disqualified for multiple penalties is Cool Killer. I think she started cutting corners. He's gone. That gap, what is it? It's currently 2.8 seconds between Tango and DeWill, with 3 laps left to go, including the one we're on. DeWill doesn't want to get challenged from behind too much, but Carl might want him on track. We will see how that plays out. This is a spicy end. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I reckon DeWill's got him. But if Carl attacks DeWill too much, that's all it takes for that gap to open up. There you go, there's your top 6 cars. Hang on, where did Jet come from? That man had a spin earlier. He's up into P6. I mean, he's got his penalties to serve, sure, but the guy behind him is 4.5 seconds behind. So the penalty's not going to do much.
Jet was rapid today.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking at a P5 at the moment. Even if he doesn't get past Carl, just on the penalty alone. And Jet being that close to Carl and DeWill is very bad news for DeWill. I'm watching that gap. It's like 2.8, 2.9 seconds there. Here we go. Will we see any moves for this P4 battle? They all have different amounts of time penalties. So on track, doesn't actually matter all that much. What matters most is, will they cause DeWill to lose time to Tango? Are they going to take away his potential podium? Carl having a little sniff, not going to go for it in the end, as DeWill keeping good lines here. Right on his tail, a good exit there, perhaps on the curb a little bit more than he would have wanted. This is the penultimate lap. Now, Carl, is he going to go for the move? He's right on the tail. He's really putting pressure on the Frenchman ahead. The spray still kicking up. No more pit stops to be had. No more safety cars to be had. Although there is a battle way down in P14.
Oh.
Hello, Farrell getting past Harry.
A little bit of needle there in that move.
It's Ids speeding in the pit lane, and yeah, retirement from him. Knows he's not going to get any points. You can't fault the man too much for that one. Let's see, here we go. Hobbsy. All he's got to do is take it round one more time. He's got 2-second lead. The guy behind him's got a penalty. He is safe. He just needs to not do anything stupid. He's got a 50% ERS to burn here. This is absolutely his victory, and let's hope he does not throw it away in this last lap. But for now, we'll focus on this P4 on track battle. As we mentioned, penalties will mean it doesn't actually matter, but do they want the glory of finishing that one position ahead? Of course they do. They're racing drivers. So still steady there, but at the moment he's not got any overtaking opportunities left. Actually going over the curb slightly, perhaps picking up another one in for himself there. The pole man just behind him. Jet not going to convert his dominant pole into a victory. And look at that gap. Tango just closing down on Hobbsy, but it doesn't matter for Hobbsy. He knows he's safe. As hang on, Jet actually is right on the back of Carl. It will get him on penalties. Is he going to go for the send? The answer is no. Let's hop on board with our leader, Hobbsy, the man who's played this race amazingly well. He knew when to play it safe, he knew when to push, time the pit stop well as he comes around the corner for the final time. And that is a win for Hobbsy. Roju picking up a P2 due to penalties to Will. Does he get Tango in the end? The answer is no. He's 4/10ths back. Jet P5 from pole, Carl P6. Strauss and McConey gonna make it a P7-8 for the Mercedes boys. So here we go, round in the final bend, and there we go. Free fall. P9 for the Ferrari is Nolsey and four-star. Oh, hello. Nolsey's had a little spinner. Excuse me there. So here we go. There's Nolsey's car still doing things. And then Farrell and Harry Palmer will be the last of the drivers to cross the line to end a wet and wonderful Mexican Grand Prix for Tier 2. And what an end. What an end to the race.
Yeah, good race. It had it all.
Right, I'll quickly ask our three podium boys if they're going to be wanting an interview. But yeah, I enjoyed that one. Good to be back in Tier 2. I've been doing the Realistic League, but there's just something about Tier 2. Dragon saying, GG, Cold Paradox for finishing. Yeah, that man went through so much. The only driver to finish, lapped so many others, just chose to end their race before they actually got to the end. But he just kept it going. But Hobbsy is the man who did it to the end. So, are you able to invite Hobbsy and Roju to the party?
Yes, right.
Let's see. Is Tango said anything? Not yet. Here we go. Right, I'll quickly do a run through of our order. So as we saw, Hobbsy, a very well played race by him, taking the win in his house from P2 on the grid, front row, and he made it work. Roju alongside him. I think a reserve, unless I'm being a fool. Not a name I recognise, so fairly new to CRL. But a good result from him. Tango P3, only his second season in the F1 side of things. Then DeWill P4, Jet P5s, P6 for Carl. 7 is Strauss, then McConey, 3-4, 4-star finishing out the top 10. Knowlesy and Legend, the last of the point finishers. And Farrell, Harry and Cold Paradox, our last on-track finisher, a lap down. Then, of course, the further down is Cool Killer, DeRoy, T-Griff with fastest lap, and Shadow not finishing the race. So there we go. That concludes the Mexican Grand Prix. What a race that was. What a race.
Yeah, that was a good one to watch, good one to commentate. And I'm sure guys on the podium will tell us a lot more about it.
Yes, actually I need to quickly invite Tango to the party as well. Ah, you have. Perfect.
The podium says.
Nice. Right, let's hope Tango joins. But who have we got with us so far? I saw. Yeah, so I'll start off saying congratulations, Roju, on your P2.
Thank you. That was a long race.
Yeah, expecting the P2, started P6, so a fairly good start to your race weekend. But happy with how it turned out? Or
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I don't know. I don't know. I had an incident. I don't know if I get reported for that. But other than that, it was a good race at a good pace to try and get the podium, and now P2.
yeah, no, I think very well done by you. By the way, I got to ask, how new are you to CRL? Is this your first race, or?
Yeah, I joined 2 days ago, I think.
Good debut then.
Yep.
Very well raced by you. Was that Hobbsy I also saw join the party?
I'm here, yep.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
You surprised me with your pace in the wet, because I was thinking Jet's got higher wings, he'll just fly away into the distance, and then you kept up, and then you overtook him.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been fairly good in the wet. Like, I do like wet races, but there was, I don't know if you saw it on stream, where we was side by side, and I don't know if there was contact or if he lost it on traction, but he sort of went round. And then, but I think without that, he probably, because he was quicker than me overall, I was just sticking with him on the straights.
Well, I think in the wet, you were certainly more consistent. You were making less mistakes. Raw pace, he definitely had you. Qualifying showed that. But yeah, I mean, you're just taking less risks. And yeah, a very nicely done race by you. Is Tango joined yet or not? No, he is not. Okay, I'm going to quickly try and send Tango on, because he might have privacy, that means unless he's friended he can't join. If you give me a quick second to do that. But a very good race done by all three drivers. Hang on, right. Sorry. Bear with me a minute and I will get this sorted. I don't know my alphabet well enough. Do I not have him friended? Guess not. Okay, well, you should have received an invite from AFL. So I'll go back to Roju then. What lap was it you pitted for the Inters? Because some drivers went a bit early, but I think whatever you did seemed to work pretty well for you.
I don't know anymore. It was just, I think,
Were you-
around lap 18 or something, I don't know.
Yeah, were you the last group, or were you the lap before the last group who pitted for Inters?
I think the last group. Yeah, I thought the rain would take longer.
Yeah, and then it kind of...
I did one more lap. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, as Tango has now joined the party, so Tango, congratulations on your P3. Happy with the result, or annoyed you had that penalty that stopped you from finishing any higher up? Yeah, where are you? Oh yeah, actually, P19 in the championship, so those 20 points are going to do the world of good for you, possibly even put you into the top half of the order. And then, actually, Hobbsy is going to do well in the championship as well, as you will be... You had a massive gap ahead of you, actually. But either way,
Yeah.
closing down on the top three.
Ennis weren't here, was he? And Carl,
No.
I think got P6. Good race.
Yeah, Carl P6 to Will P4. So actually,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 all did pretty well this race. Jet was P5 as well. So yeah, all the top boys doing pretty well in there. Come the end of that. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Before the race, when he found out I was going to be commentating, DeRoy sent me a message saying he was one of the drivers to watch out for. But it seems you three showed him up with that one. So, starting with Hobbsy, got to ask, next week, Kota, what do you think of the track?
I've never really got on with it, to be honest, but I was like that with Mexico until this game, so yeah, I'm hoping I can get another good result, but who knows.
Yeah, then Roju, how about you? Kota good, bad, or...
I haven't got good memories around there, but I will make that one right. It's a good track.
Yeah. And then finally Tango, are you a fan of Kota, or not a cup of tea? Alright.
I like to go well there, but most of them always you'll see about the same with
Yeah. Well, coming from a P3, hard to go further up, but of course still possible. As there is one incident reported from DeRoy. I don't know if any of you got involved with him. It's probably aimed at Harry based on what I saw on track.
When was it? It could be. I mean, he did spin at turn 1, and I was there.
There
Didn't
was.
lose my day. But I don't think we made contact. I'm not sure though.
No, someone.
He definitely.
Yeah, I think Harry tapped his rear left at the exit of turn 3. Farrell's been reported now for something. DeRoy's type it, so we'll wait and see if one of you are getting snitched for something you did. I don't think I saw any dodgy pit entries from you boys.
No, I didn't do a dodgy pit entry, definitely not. You know, I'm enjoying my win, eating my chocolate hobnob, and he's gonna report me and dob me in.
We'll see.
We'll see what he does.
Yeah, but no, I really enjoy watching that race. My first tier 2 race of this season. I've been doing the realistic league, so nice to be back to the short quali format and the 50% race. Actually, Hobbsy, I don't know if I asked you, the choice to pit that late for the Inters, was that...
I was just following Jet. I didn't want to make the wrong call.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let the wheel get past me. So I was sort of burning that lap to make sure I stayed in front of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just going to follow Jet. I didn't want to take too many risks in that position.
Yeah, and of course, I'm surprised DeWill didn't pit the lap before. When he saw you not go in, he would have thought, oh, double stack, let's not take the risk.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we was passing the pits, it weren't too bad. It was when we got into turn 2 and 3, it got proper wet and time for inters, so...
Yeah, which I think is why everyone else who wasn't really in the top lot all went into the pit there. But Deroy's taken his time to report whoever he's reporting, so I think I am going to end the stream here unless any of you boys have anything you want to say.
Nope.
No, 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 no.
Commentate a bit more sensible.
Yeah, it was despite my best effort, I didn't commentate as curse you out if you win. But now, always nice to see you perform well. So I think that is it from me and AFL. Next week it should be back to Rob and AFL. Actually, I think I'm racing in at Le Mans in a different league on that day, so it won't be me regardless. But thank you guys for watching Mexico. Come back next week for Kota, and I will see people. Well, I'll be commentating the Realistic League this Sunday, so come and watch that race. Always good fun. Plenty of safety cars and chaos to go in that one. But thank you guys for watching.
Yes.